Because we're all racist, Harvard School of Government will be offering classes in power and privilege to its new students. Privilege is the new buzzword that describes people who get ahead because of their race or gender. It's a shorter way of saying evil white man, and it's a tool for brainwashing your kids into thinking they're awful. You see, the beauty of the word privilege is you don't have to act racist to be racist. It's already in your blood. Seems kind of racist, no? Not if you're white. In absence of God, racism is now the original sin. Simply by being born, you're bigoted. Your parents, by creating you, perpetrated this racist act. You weren't a baby, but a Don Sterling in diapers. So why these courses now? It's simple. To occupy the incompetent. Take a kid who spends 4 years schooled in resentment and race warfare. What does he do now? Teach resentment and race warfare. Here's a taste from a white privilege conference. I wonder if racism is central to America.
Racism is central to America.
White supremacy has been embedded in the United States of America from its founding.
Race is driving almost everything that's happening in the country.
The longer you are in the Tea Party, the more racist you become.
The privilege scam is self-perpetuating work release, disguised as concern but driven by desperation, for their careers need race hate to exist. Their only recourse, to drag you down into their muddy pit of whine and drivel. But do not dismiss it. That parents pay charlatans to corrupt their kids is the hate crime. No wonder our foes laugh at us. The entire movement must be underwritten by China. Bob, you were talking about this earlier on another TV program.
Yes.
Doesn't this idea make a mockery of an actual conversation about real racism when you just say everybody is bad?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think the idea that you're planting a seed here that says if you're white, you've got racist tendencies. But I will say this. There are a lot of kids who are in college today or in graduate school today who never experienced the civil rights movement, never experienced the idea of segregation. Many of them have not had exposure to what happens to minorities in America, and it's a good idea to do that in a discussion in a history class.
Exactly.
I'm not so sure I would do it in something like this.
Yeah, because it seems to me, Eric, that this isn't history. This is indoctrination.
Indoctrination. The scary part is if you read the progressives today literature, thousands and thousands of teachers and students attended this. It's not like 20 people in the back room of Harvard having a little meeting. It's scary. I mean, I can't imagine kids actually listening to this, having teachers teach it to them. What's the message? What's to continue the race divide in America? Doesn't it actually perpetrate racism by doing what they're doing? They're saying America has racist. Background. Yes, we know there's racism. We know, but things are getting better.
That doesn't necessarily mean all those students know.
But I think what Eric's point is, Kimberly, is what if you suddenly agreed with them? You're right. Privilege. What do you want? What do you want us to do? They want something. They want a form of punishment.
Well, that's the problem. So you're being punished, right, for a crime that you didn't even commit or think of and shouldn't be held responsible for. You're not the perpetrator. So I'm not quite sure why you have to lead with an assumption that someone is guilty or, guilty of some kind of malfeasance or wrongdoing.
Yeah.
Where is the evidence or the proof of that? I don't feel that is moving forward as a country when you sit there and cast, blame and dispersions at people that they're bad, they have bad thoughts, or just for living, breathing, waking up in the morning.
Dana, this isn't meant to help students, is it? It's meant to help the people who teach it, because I can't imagine this helping you in any way, shape, or form when you get out into the real world to feel like a victim or feel like a victimizer.
Right.
So in the 1970s in Denver, they did busing to integrate the schools, and I was a part of that, and I thought that whole point of the civil rights movement was so that we could get beyond this. And I remember President Obama talking about his daughters and how that whole generation is much more accepting and non-discriminatory than anybody in the past. I mean, what they're teaching here, can you imagine a university in America teaching that all Germans today are responsible for what the Nazis did in World War II? They would never say that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this is actually accepted because, as Eric said, how many thousands of people actually went? And at a Midwest university, they banned the film The Honor Diaries because they didn't want to offend Muslims.
Right.
But I would bet you if you